Alright guys, we have a new video for you. This time we're talking about our camera and our background. So you can see that I've drawn a world that's much larger than the worlds that we had been drawing. So here's an example of the worlds that we had been drawing minus the background, a lot smaller, and you can see that my world number one is much bigger. It goes well beyond the boundary of the blue outlined part here. And the reason I was able to do that was because I was able to add a camera that will follow my character around the map, and he can explore a lot more. So let's see what this looks like. So you can see that we have our character who can run and jump and do all this stuff, and the background will actually follow him whenever he moves left and right, and so he can explore a much larger area. Now I still have the next level, the world complete thing we added in, so if I jump onto that, you'll see that it will take me to the next world, and I still have my background, and I can even go to the next world that I may have designed, and then the next world. So you can see where we can have multiple worlds. And let's go ahead and get started on trying to add this into your game. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the stuff that I did here, so you guys can we can do it together, so we'll be able to do this. So first I'm going to delete all of these things. I'm going to do Control S, and that's going to save all of my stuff here. Alright, so basically you can start out by drawing a larger world that really goes outside, and you can get pretty big if you'd like, but don't. I would just say get a little bit bigger so you can test it out and then see how it works for you. Alright, so I am going to select my character scene. So here's how you would get to that. If you start your game up, it looks like something like this. You're going to want to select your character scene. So mine is Magnus, so I'm just going to double click that. This is the scene that everything in this scene has to do with Magnus and putting him into the individual worlds, each world. So anything I add here will reflect in all the worlds that I put him in because I've linked him to them. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 2D camera. I'm going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to type 2D, or actually I'm going to type camera, and then 2D is the blue one. Create. And the most basic part of just getting this to work is after you add it, over here on the bottom right under 2D camera, you have to turn it to current, which is basically saying we're using this camera view right now. So this camera view is locked on to Magnus, and we've enabled it. So if I hit play, you will see that there's my character, and he can move a little bit to the left and right. And if you don't want that on yours, you want your guy to stay dead in the center. Over here on the right hand side, we have two check boxes that say drag margin horizontal and vertical. You can turn those off if you'd like, and then your character will stay just dead in the center of the screen if that's something that you'd like. We'll leave this for right now. I'm kind of more partial to turning at least the horizontal on. So this is what I prefer him to move a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can do it whichever way you feel. Okay, now we're going to add a background for behind your character, so you won't have that just bland gray look, and you can design your backgrounds. And so maybe if you want to be inside of a castle, it looks like the back of a castle, etc. So I've already added the texture in, and mine is, as you can see over here on the left hand side, I've got a new folder called backgrounds. Inside my backgrounds, I have one that's called sky. So that's the picture that I'm going to use for my sky. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to select Magnus, and I'm going to hit I'm going to type Parallax, P-A-R-A, and right there we're going to do a Parallax Background, and to make it where it moves with it, we need to add a parallax layer, and that's this blue guy right here. So first you're going to choose parallax background, then you're going to do parallax layer, and then you're going to add a sprite onto this. And remember, sprites are just what hold the picture. So now we're going to select the sky, and I'm going to drag it over here for my texture. And we're going to go to offset, and we're going to turn off center. Okay, so now my character, let's just see what it looks like whenever we play with it without doing any other settings. So it just stick. If you want to have just like one giant background, you could technically just have one big background that you've drawn, or you can use, or you can set it to where it follows your character, which is what we're going to do. It makes it a little bit simpler. So here we go. Let's make it follow our character. So we're gonna go to parallax layer, and then we're going to go to motion, and we're going to choose mirroring. Under the mirroring, we're going to type how many pixels the picture is that we've drawn. So this picture is 640 pixels by 640 pixels, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow the game to actually just continuously recreate that background over and over. So like if you ran, I don't know, for 10 minutes, the background's just going to keep repeating itself. So let's play this and see what it looks like. So now you can see that there's no gaps. It looks pretty good, and the background just keeps repeating itself. So as you move to the right, the background's still there. It doesn't matter how far I run to the right, it's always going to be there. Now let's add that other little effect that caused the background to kind of move just a little bit, and that will fall under scale here. So if you'll change this to 0.1 by 0.1, you can see what that setting looks like. And you could do other settings, but this is the one I've tested out, and I like how it looks. So you can see as I'm moving to the right, it's slowly moving it. It's not, the background's not stuck. It kind of gives you a feeling of perspective here. So you can move left and right, and the background just kind of slowly follows you. Alright, so I'm hoping for the next video to have a start menu, so you can start at an actual beginning screen and choose your character, just kind of just like the basic start menu of the game. So that's what I think I'm going to be doing for the next video, but we'll see how it all turns out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day.